Why do we do these contests? We do them to learn by observation and to recognize our best at the youth leadership and to have fun.
Well, myself, I am a left-handed person, and always growing up, I always wondered, at first it was odd in elementary school and middle school being the only left-handed person that I knew of, and the only Philip on top of that. But, as I got older, I embraced it, and now today I'm going to share some interesting facts about left-handed people. Fact number 1, 10% of the entire world is left-handed. So there's 90% of people who are right-handed, and only 10% of us left-handed people. In this room, we have 4 left-handed people. That's pretty impressive. I thought I was going to be the only one, so I could have tied this together. But we only have 4 left-handed people here, so that is great. But only 10% of the world is left-handed. Now, with that, you are in great company. Great company. Albert Einstein, Benjamin Franklin, Alexander the Great, all left-handed people. So there are great minds, great leaders who are left-handed. Now, of this, and from this room, we can see, if you're left-handed and you're a man, that makes sense. Because of the 10%, the majority of the left-handed people are men. So if you're a woman and left-handed, you're even a smaller population in the entire world. So on top of that, too, there are also athletes who have a competitive advantage being left-handed. For instance, in boxing, Oscar De La Hoya was a fantastic left-handed boxer, and due to that, it gave him a competitive advantage in sports. In basketball, all-star game coming around the corner, James Harden is an all-star. He's left-handed. So in sports, if you're really good at as an athlete and you're left-handed, you have a competitive advantage. So good stuff. Also, if you're left-handed and you want to be a president of the United States, you also have a really, really good chance. Of the last 4 presidents in the United States, George Bush Sr., Bill Clinton, and current President Barack Obama, all left-handed. So if you want to be a president and you're left-handed, you're almost there. You got a good shot. We're almost there. Also, if you ever wanted to go to space, astronauts, of the Apollo astronauts, 1 in 4 of them were left-handed. So if you ever want to go to space or become the president of the United States and you're left-handed, you're almost there. You're almost there. Now, being left-handed, like I said, there are some disadvantages. Historically, in cultures throughout the entire world, there are discrimination against left-handed people. Now we've come a long, long way from this, but I'd like to give you guys a story. My mother was born in Vietnam in the 60s, and growing up at home, in school, every time she was born left-handed, every time she would in class when she would take notes or do anything with hand, the teacher would come and hit her in the hand, make them use their right hand. Same deal at home when she's like eating, with the spoon with the left hand. Mama would hit her with the hand and say, you gotta use the right hand. To the day to now, after all that conditioning, she's doing a lot of stuff with her right hand, but she does still do some things with her left hand. But like writing, for example, she doesn't write at all with the left hand, even though she was born left-handed. Everything is right-handed. So in societies, we've come a long way. So I don't know if there's a lot of this going on anymore, but there were some disadvantages being left-handed. And I know for some of the left-handers, I see that right there. We always have the problem when we sit next to right-handed people, bumping into them. I used to hate doing that. And then also in elementary school, I remember we used to have scissors, and I had to use the left-handed scissors because I couldn't cut with the right-handed one, and those scissors were always rusty and nasty, so I never liked that, being a left-handed person. All right, but that's okay. That's one of the few flaws. Now, let's put this layer, piece of paper over here. Another thing, left-handed people get a little angry quicker than the typical right-handed person. So, if I come off the wrong way, when you brush shoulders with me, I'm sorry, I'm left-handed. Finally, if you take away anything from this presentation today, I want you guys to all know that us left-handed people, we get a special day out of the year. August 13th is International Happy Left-Handers Day. So, if you're gonna remember anything, August 13th is your left-hand. If you're left-handed, or you see a fellow left-handed person on that day, give them a high five on the left hand. All right. So today I shared some interesting facts to you, being left-handed, facts about being left-handed. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you.
What a bunch of people are going to evaluate, but you spoke extremely well. Now I'm going to do your strengths first. So you involved the audience quite a lot, like when you said, first you asked the question, the initial question, you were like, is anybody left-handed? And then you pointed out Riaz and Kennedy sitting next to each other because one's left-handed, one's right. So I like that. You spoke clearly, your speech was very humorous, and your summary at the end was nice. You spoke loud, and you had vocal variety, and it was interesting. You know that because nobody was talking, and that's always a good thing. So some things that you can improve upon, you spoke really left, no, right. You spoke right, and so it was hard to see what you were holding up. So you could improve that by just, centering yourself in the middle of the room. It was hard to see the pictures because you were, again, far. And you could have moved around a little. So it's easier to see. But even with that, and also you use that quite a bit. So you can use like a different transition word, like in addition to, and as well as. So you commended your lefties, and I'm sure they appreciate that. And I also like that all of your facts were positive, because I was feeling kind of offended being a right-hand person. And with that said, your speech is very nice.
Or is that a word? Don't use that word. Actually, it's not a word. And it was relatable to people in the room. There were 4 left-handed people, so you weren't alone. I like the story that you told about your mom during it. And it had a lot of interesting facts, things that I never knew. I think a lot of people in the audience didn't know that. And it had humor, definitely. So, almost there with that, so that was cool. One thing I would say to improve on, with the prop, when you were holding up the pictures, sometimes your fingers would be in the way of the pictures and you couldn't really see like the people that were in them, but other than that, it was cool. I liked that you had something to show everybody. And that's what I really enjoyed. I think, and especially at the beginning, when you asked, like you interacted with everybody, you had that opening remark. People held up their hands, interacted with everybody, got everybody involved. And you asked like how everybody was doing, made everybody in the room feel like you were making them a part of the speech. So I thought that was really cool. And you also, what is it called? Like you gave the fact of is it National Left-Handed Day? August 13th. So and all people in the room now, you're like left-handed, unite. So I thought that was really neat. Keep up the interaction, keep up that it was relatable, and I overall really thought it was good. Okay,
all right.
I have an envelope, please. The winner is Alexa Williams.
Let's give Phyllis and Steve a big hand in helping us. Also helping us were timers. Let's give our timers a big hand. We have judges who do not know. Give them a big hand. Our guest speaker. Without him, who would be And of course, the Olympics cannot go on without the athletes. So the big hand for all of our contestants. Who's got the script for adjourning the meeting?
I,
Okay. Dory, start.
do I have a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
Does anyone does someone second that motion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Nay. Meeting adjourned.